people. How we doing? Just thought I'd give you a little update, like I said I would, on my little Chinese diesel heater. I've actually got it in the workshop, it never made it to the shed yet, and to be honest with you, I'm actually thinking about keeping it in the workshop. Just because it is technically a 5, they say it's a 5 to 8, the maths on the diesel says it's actually a 5 max, and if you turn it down to its lowest it's about 1.6 kilowatts. I tend to run it about on number 4, number 5, which is about midway, and the reason I run it midway is because if you run this at its highest setting, it is quite loud. It's not ridiculously loud, but it is kind of annoying. So on a sort of, at the moment it's on number 4, I do believe. We are 8 degrees in here. Yeah, so if we turn that up, that's now 5, so that'll now ramp up a little bit. But like I say, on number 5, number 4, number 5, it's bearable. You start getting towards 8, 9, starts getting a bit annoying. Obviously if you've got it in a van, a camper van or whatever, and you've mounted it on the outside and then piped it in, it will be quieter. And obviously you can put insulation on the pumps and stuff and sound deadening to quieten it down as well. Also using the ducting will quieten it down, but I've just got it sat there for now. What I'm thinking about doing is moving it to under here, over here. What I'm thinking about doing is moving it to where the kettle is and standing it under here. Then what I'm going to do is run the exhaust over into the top of an old radiator, which will just sit under here, run it into there, and then obviously the other side of it can then run back out the same hole underneath. So there'll just be like a heat recovery system basically underneath the sink here, which in winter will just help. So when you turn that on, it will obviously create heat under here to help defrost the pipes if they start freezing up a bit, or if anything freezes up. It'll also help hold a little bit of heat for when you go home, just to help try and stop things freezing up, because I think we are in for quite a winter this year. I did find I think it was a 900 by 600 radiator. Just grab the tape measure. So a 900 by 600 radiator would actually sit in there like that. Like I say, tube out the bottom, straight out the wall. So I'd need to get another exhaust and some way of adapting that to obviously fit in to the ports. There go. But 600 might be a bit tall. But there was one, it was on Facebook and it was 20 quid. So it's cheap. You never know, I might be able to find one cheaper. But yeah, just stand it. If I have it at the front here, so you've still got space at the back there to get your hands around and plug the pipes and various bits in. Like I say, just a thought. I mean, I did think to myself, if you actually put a radiator behind it, took the pipe off into the radiator, which then obviously the air goes pushed through the radiator and out the other side, and then duct the intake over the top of the radiator so that it's actually sucking the air in the back through the radiator and using the heat from the exhaust to preheat the air. Could be an idea. Don't know, for now, I mean, I've got to improve that a little bit, because remembering to fill that little pot up is... Sometimes I run it out of diesel and I don't like that. I have got the tank now down here, but the only problem is I can't remember for the life of me where I've put the nipple for it. So I may actually just have a look and see if I can find that and get that piped up, so that at least I've got a larger tank. But yeah, so I've got it there. First week, my advice would be set one of these up temporarily in your garage or something, even if you're going to use it in your camper. Probably run maybe 5 litres of diesel through it, just because they smell really bad when you first start them up. And this one now, you get the odd whiff of plastic, but the first couple of days, first like 10 hours was terrible. It was a horrific smell, almost to the point of it makes you feel sick. But yeah, so I mean, I've been running that. So the way I've sort of judged this, so obviously when you first start it up, you've got the display here. If I press OK, look, so that's been on 2 hours and 40 minutes. Yeah, I know that because the clock starts at 0 every time you start it up, and at the minute I'm just running it off of my Noco power supply, which runs it absolutely fine, by the way, if you've got one. So that's been going 2 hours and 40 minutes. I just literally filled this up because it was almost empty. And that, I topped it up when I first started it, about 20 minutes, 40 minutes after I started it up. Filled that up, and like I say, I've just filled it up not so long ago. So it probably uses about 500 mil on its mid setting, about 500 mil of diesel every hour and a bit, which when you look at the maths on it, when it's on its mid setting, it should be about 2.5 kilowatts. And a litre of diesel holds roughly 10 kilowatts of heat or energy. So I mean, obviously you've got to bear in mind some of it's going out the exhaust and you've got losses and what have you, but that's about what you're getting out of it. So yeah, I'm going to get that piped into that tank. It does, surprisingly, that if you leave it on number 6, this big workshop, it doesn't make it warm. No, but it does take the chill off on a sort of, well, like I say, we've been around 4 degrees centigrade of late, so we've been around the 4 degree mark to 8 degree mark with a sort of very strong cold wind, and that running on sort of number 6 actually does take the chill off the building. Just means you don't have to wear a hat because your ears aren't freezing. Obviously I have got the big diesel heater there. My plan is to use that heater to sort of run it for 20 minutes, an hour, something like that. Let it get the building warm when it's cold. Normally, I mean, about an hour, I think, is how long it took to make it warm in here. So run that for about an hour with that running as well, and then just leave this running and see if it just helps hold the heat. Because the problem is with this, you turn it off and literally it just, the heat, you feel it escape from the building. But then it is tin wheels, teeth back in. It is a composite roof, which luckily does hold heat, and isn't too bad. So, but yeah, that's the update for now. Like I say, I tend to do a few more experiments with it and see if I can get a bit more heat in here out of it. I am thinking about maybe ducting the intake for the air from higher up, because obviously cold air sinks, hot air rises. So try and suck some of the warmer air at the top of the building back through it, reheat it and sort of circulate it back through the building as such. Because at the minute it's just taking cold air, warming it up, the air goes up, that's it. Cold air, up, air cools, comes back down. So I try to make it so that it actually circulates it. Because, I mean, when you're working on a car here, I mean, I can feel that, the breeze off of it here, but it's not what I'd call warm. When it's not cold, but it isn't hot, because it's mixed with the cool air. But like I say, I think there are some things I can do to improve on that. So that'll do for now. Like, subscribe, comment down below if you'd like to see what you'd like to see me do. If there's any experiments you think I should do with it, we'll see what we can do. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.